address to the Commonwealth Club of California, assignment explanation. We have a PowerPoint to review real quick. You guys did a lot of good Chavez work yesterday, so hopefully that gives you some good basis of who he was and what he stood for. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. He was a Mexican-American migrant farm worker who became a labor rights activist. Many farm workers, like Chavez's family, had immigrated from Mexico or other Southern American countries. Here's his partner, who we'll learn about tomorrow, Dolores Huerta. She and Chavez co-founded the United Farm Workers, a union of people who planted and harvested crops. Chavez's tactics. Chavez led collective bargaining, a process by which workers negotiate with business owners for safer and healthier conditions and for higher wages. In 1965, Chavez and the UFW organized a strike, refusal to work, among people who picked grapes in Delano, California. They also asked consumers to boycott, not buy grapes, in order to support them. In 1970, the workers reached an agreement with the owners of the grape farms. Today's document comes from a speech that Chavez gave in 1984. Some of the vocabulary will be excrement, that's waste, from poop, infant mortality, the percentage of children who die before they are 1 year old, implement, tool. Collective bargaining is a negotiation between a union and an employer over pay, working conditions, or other issues. Rhetoric is fancy words. Boycott is an agreement to not buy a product in order to achieve a political or social goal. And pesticide is chemical used to kill insects. So let's get to the reading addressed to the Commonwealth Club. All right. And Chavez speaks. This is in 1984. Today, thousands of farm workers live under savage conditions, beneath trees and amid garbage and human excrement. Near tomato fields in San Diego County, tomato fields which use the most modern farm technology. Vicious rats gnaw on them as they sleep. They walk miles to buy food at inflated prices, and they carry in water from irrigation pumps. Hard labor is still common in many farm areas. As much as 30% of North Carolina's garlic harvesters are underage children. Kids as young as 6 years old have voted in state-conducted union elections since they qualified as workers. Some 800,000 underage children worked with their families harvesting crops across America. Babies born to migrant workers suffer 25% higher infant mortality rate than the rest of the population. Malnutrition among migrant workers is 10 times higher than the national rate. Farm workers' average life expectancy is still 49 years compared to 73 years for the average American. All my life I've been driven by one dream, one goal, one vision: to overthrow a farm system in this nation which treats farm workers as if they were not important human beings. Farm workers are not agricultural implements. They are not beasts of burden to be used and discarded. Those who attack our union often say it's not really a union, it's something else. A social movement, civil rights movement. It's something dangerous. They're half right. The United Farm Workers is first and foremost a union like any other. We attacked injustice not by complaining, not by seeking handouts, not by becoming soldiers in the war on poverty. We organized. Farm workers acknowledged we have allowed ourselves to become victims in a democratic society. A society where majority rule and collective bargaining are supposed to be more than academic theories or political rhetoric. And by addressing this historical problem, we created confidence and pride and hope in an entire people's ability to create the future. During the early and mid-1970s, millions of Americans supported our boycotts. After 1975, we redirected our efforts from the boycott to organizing and winning elections under the law. The law helped farm workers make progress in overcoming poverty and injustice. At companies where farm workers are protected by union contracts, we have made progress in overcoming child labor, in overcoming miserable wages and working conditions, in overcoming sexual harassment of women workers, in overcoming dangerous pesticides which poison our people and poison the food we all eat. So, question one you should have answered on your own. That's your opinion, in your experience. So here's our three questions. Here's the three we'll help you with here. Name three problems for farm workers that Chavez describes. He's talking about low wages, poor working conditions, and child labor. What is Chavez asking of the government? Change the laws these farms to take advantage of the workers. Businesses who wants them to pay them a livable wage and improve working and living conditions. The public support our boycotts if we go on strike. The Great Boycott is a perfect example. My dad tells the story of his family went several years without eating grapes because of this boycott and because they supported Chavez's movement. Of all the people who studied in this union, who might consider the UFW dangerous and why? And he would see the rich business owners who take advantage of their workers. It's something we could probably put government who supports businesses over workers. Right? And then the final question of the tactics Chavez mentions, organizing boycotts, looking for changes in the law, and negotiating with farm owners, which do you think would be the most effective in securing workers' rights and why? So pick one of these three in the parentheses above, and then explain why you pick that as what you thought would be the most effective in securing workers' rights. Hope this helped. Turn in when you're done.